All right, guys, this is lesson 161. Again, another review lesson from the measurement unit. And today we're going to find the measurement of an object when it does not start at 0. And this was an important lesson because a lot of kids on that chapter test from this chapter really had a hard time finding the length of a object when it did not start at 0. So here we have today we're going to go over two concrete ways that you can always find the measurement of a length when it does not start at 0. So when we measure objects, we line up the object with the 0 on the ruler. I think it's very important to stress this. Ideally, every time we measure, we must start at the 0. That's non-negotiable. But, however, what if an object is not lined up at the 0, right? We get an object, it's on a ruler, and it's not at the 0. Fret not. You can still measure an object even if it's not lined up at the 0. We can figure out the lengths two ways. One, we can measure from one end to the other and count the spaces in between. So for example, I start with where the beginning of my object is, right? This like weird little train thing. So, and I count the hops in between till the end of the object. So it's 1, 2, 3. I just want to total distance of 3 hops. That means it's 3 inches long, right? You start at the beginning of the object and you keep hopping over till you go to the end of the object. And you just count the hops. You don't count the numbers. That doesn't make any sense. You count the hops. So 1, 2, 3. And I'd be very, very particular and a huge stickler of making the kids literally use their fingers. Like pick it up and hop so they can ensure that they don't make any mistakes. The second way we can find the length of an object when it doesn't start at 0 is we can also subtract to find the length of an item. What equation could we use to find the length of a glue stick? Let's look at the glue stick, people. Glue stick starts off, the beginning of my object, it's 2 inches. Ends at 4 inches. Doesn't mean it's 4 inches long. How can I write an equation that's going to help me solve this? We want to know the difference, this distance in between those two numbers. That's why we're going to subtract. And obviously when we subtract, we start with the bigger number. So 4 minus 2 is going to give me the difference, this space in between where my glue stick is. 4 minus 2 is 2 inches. So the glue stick is 2 inches long. I can double check that by counting the spaces in between like I did in my first example. So let's start here. 1 hop, 2 hops. Am I right? Yes. It's 2 inches long. If I were you, I'd really stress the importance here that we're finding the difference, the space between, the distance between these two numbers. Just like when we did the previous slide. We're talking about the distance in between the two numbers, right? And that's what we're subtracting. Same thing with the toothbrush. Start at the 1, right? And on 5 inches. We want to find this space here that covers the toothbrush, the difference between those two numbers. So I'm going to take 5, because that's my bigger number, minus 1 equals 4 inches. So the toothbrush is 4 inches long. Let me double check that by, again, hopping to count the space between. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct. It's 4 inches long. And that's it.